And welcome back. As I promised you, we have two wonderful guests in the studio here, and it's a real honour for me to introduce to you the Minister of Energy from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's absolutely wonderful to see you. His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Thank you so much for being with us. We're delighted you're here in the United Arab Emirates. And from the United Arab Emirates, of course, Cabinet Minister and Minister of Energy himself, His Excellency Suhail AlMazrouei. So, gentlemen, wonderful to have you here. And, Your Highness, if I might start with you, when we look at, you know, global energy, it's making headlines around the world. People are very concerned, but you are also concerned about energy security. Talk to me about what the Kingdom can do when it comes to energy security for the region and indeed for the world.
Well, it's first of all, it's a pleasure to be in UAE and in Dubai. It is a place that I've been visiting regularly now, and I can't wait for any occasion to arise that I would jump on a plane and come. I feel I'm within the contours of extended family. Ethna too, you have been a part of our family as OPEC and OPEC Plus. So we hold your professionalism with great deal of regard and appreciation. You've been part of us and our fabric. Energy security is a concerning topic. We believe we as OPEC Plus, and I have a great partner here, have done a lot in bringing about stability. There is nothing more profound, more important for energy security than having to have a stable market. Those who are not copying us as OPEC Plus need to copy us. I have quite a few statistics to share with you at a later point, which makes me, as a chair of OPEC Plus, a very proud person, which make all of us as OPEC Plus countries a proud people and proud countries, because we are demonstrating a great deal of seriousness and attentiveness to what it takes to energize an economy, and how much others are lagging when it comes to that. But to attend to energy security, you have to use every source of energy, and you have to be profoundly caring about which countries should choose what type of energy. Should be the prerogative of that country, depending on its endowments. I think tabooing a source of energy or being too selective would be damaging and would not be recognizing the economics of what you need to do. Profoundly energy security that does not lead to maintaining a sustainable economic prosperity, economic growth.
And when we look here, I know you have always talked about the importance of energy diversification here. And talk to us a little bit about the UAE Energy Strategy and related perhaps to that energy security issue.
Well, I think as His Royal Highness have mentioned, all of us here in the Gulf trying to build a sustainable model. And in building that sustainable model, we are working on parallel track. One, to ensure that we as a reliable supplier of hydrocarbon, we're supplying the world with the requirements when some other countries who used to be a major supplier are lagging behind because of the natural decline. At the same time, we elected back in 2016 to look as a country and build a strategy that will take us some 30 years into the future. And building that strategy, we weighed different options. One is going fossil, one is going fossil green, one is going 100% green. And we put three triggers. One is the energy security, the question that you asked. And the second is sustainability. We knew that the world will be facing some challenges in the future. Third was the affordability of the people. And we came up with a strategy that we announced since 2017, going 50% green by 2050, and reducing 70% of our emissions, going with the gas. But what's important as well is that would save us around $191 billion of the 353. So we were supposed to spend $53 billion on fuel plus capex, but going 50% green would save us the 191 or almost 60% of the budget. And that was an eye-opener for many countries. Since then, I think both the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia have been not only doing things at home, but also positively influencing other countries to adopt renewable energy. We have an outstanding companies like Masdar and others in Saudi Arabia. We have an outstanding partner here with us in UAE in demonstrating that renewable energy and going renewable is also a way to affect other countries. We're working, I think, in more than 40 countries probably together, and I think this is what the world was not expecting from us. As a conventional producer, they were not expecting that we will go and help other countries diversify their energy toward green.
And I think that's what's so important. Now, you personally, and I think very passionately, you launched the Saudi Green Initiative. It's something you were committed to. You're looking at the net zero commitments. But I get the feeling that the rest of the world is maybe a little bit impatient. This is going to take time, the energy transition. But, you are committed and you have taken action. Tell us just a little bit more about that. I think we're down to the handheld, yes.
I honestly don't see ourselves doing anything than being an exemplary for so many countries. We are at ease with what we are doing. As Suhail was saying, we as well as UAE, actually, we will be saving a lot of billions, even after spending, of doing exactly what we're saying, which is, in our case, for example, power sector would move from liquids to 50% gas and 50% renewable. It would save us money, actually, and it would enable us actually to push that saved money into something else. The Green Initiative or the Middle East Initiative are ideas that the Crown Prince himself, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, put together, NEOM and everything else. It was not, it is not trying to take Saudi Arabia to a beauty shop. It is more to do with a conviction that we need to do all of the above, because there is a solid economic case for all of us. We cannot have a place like the Red Sea project or NEOM without being too careful about what you do to the environment. There are cheap solutions and least cost solutions such as greening, and that's why we have a good chunk of the Middle East Initiative and the Green Initiative Saudi is about greening. It is about adapting. The circular carbon economy that we have been advocating and also will be demonstrating. In fact, we are demonstrating so many of these things already. I'll give you an example. We're running the most successful efficiency program that is reduce. We are talking as Aramco today. It stands either ranked number 1 or 2 in the world in terms of reduction of methane emissions. But we want the ecosystem and the enablers and the focus. People are not focusing about emission reduction. People are focusing about picking and choosing a source of energy. Now, for people to be included and for inclusiveness and comprehensiveness has to be there. This is what we are been advocating. That is, we should focus on emission reduction of all greenhouse gases, and we should use technology, because technology will derive both. It will become much more efficient and much more cost effective, and also pioneering to create these technologies. That's why we're doing the circular carbon economy, and the component of it, the carbon sequestration, air capture, and so many of these things. It just so happens also in the circular carbon economy, there will be money that will be made, because in the concept of reusing and recycling, carbon and gases will be utilized. They will become a material to be monetized, as opposed to be something that the world we're running out of solutions. Look at what is happening in the so-called transitioning that is happening elsewhere. It is disruptive. And if it is disruptive to the economy, if it is disruptive to sustainability, if it is disruptive to the well-being of the citizen here and there and elsewhere, it should be reconsidered.
And talk to me a little bit about the UAE's involvement and its participation on the circular economy as well. And I love the fact that you say when it makes money, it makes sense and it'll bring the investors in. But if you can carry that on in terms of the circular economy.
I think you cannot not engage in circular economy if you are into saving money and saving the environment at the same time. The circular economy is a great way to create jobs as well. It's a great way to show example and lead by example. We have so many projects since we started just talking about it, and it all makes sense commercially. If it does make sense commercially, and now we have an international commitment, and we have pledged our commitment of net zero. I think we will do more, and we are doing more, and we are enabling as a regulators the private sector and incentivizing them to do more when it comes to circular economy. And I think others are watching and copying and catching up. So it has been a positive movement. And whenever they see us as the largest two economies in the Middle East doing these things, I think others are adapting and learning, and we're spreading that learning as much as we can.
Now, we look at Saudi Arabia at the moment, and there's a great move for economic and industrial transformation and advancement as well. Where does the energy transition sit within the great move forward? Because there's so much going on in the kingdom.
It is part of it. It's, as Suhail was saying, it's saving money, it's creating jobs. I see it in the energy ecosystem. More and more enthusiastic young ladies and gentlemen joining the sector because of its excitement. The excitement that it is drawing of being adventurous, of being technologically drawn into these activities. Some of it are these technologies are challenging, and they will continue to be challenging. But with challenge and creativity, you will see serious women and serious men are approaching this sector with excitement, because to them it is making them look as if they are modern, and they will be engaged in modern activities, and also they will be engaged in their own ambition, which is having to have economic prosperity and monetizing our natural resources, including wind and sun, which is a natural resource, by the way, and also advancing the diversity of the economy. We have to do the whole thing mindful of the fact that actually if there is something to talk about in this event, look at what we are doing, the two of us. We're taking a proactive role. We're engaging in events. As for us, we have engaged in the Net Zero Forum that the US has created. We are engaged now on the methane initiative. In both, we want to showcase what we are doing as exemplaries. So as the UAE, we have nothing to hide. We're nothing shy. We're not actually, we're proud of what we're doing as opposed to being shy from what we're doing. Look at our NDC. We issued it before the last COP. By the book and by the Paris Agreement, we don't have to issue it. However, we elected to issue it because we feel strongly that we could achieve 278 million tons of reduction of emissions. That 278 is almost equivalent to the entire emissions. And I'm not joking. Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and Oman. Almost 97% of that. The 278 is almost equal to today's emission of the UAE. If we are not proud and willing to show that, I don't know what else we'll show.
Now, just a closing question from both of you, and perhaps it's about looking forward to the future. It's a very dynamic time, and Your Excellency AlMazrouei, you look at the great initiatives here, hydrogen, nuclear. There's so much going on in the energy sector. It's really a dynamic time. Just a few minutes, very quickly, just bring me up to date with where we're heading here in the UAE.
Well, we are very excited about hydrogen. We put a roadmap. We brought that forward to the COP26. And we're implementing that. We have more than 7 projects already happening as we speak, and we're doing more and more on hydrogen. Part of that strategy is to capture a 25% market share. We think we can export hydrogen to some of our partners. There has been already discussion with many countries who we supply with hydrocarbon today, and they are keen to get hydrogen. We will work on both blue and green hydrogen. We have built the first Middle East green hydrogen plant, and we are testing now the utilization. Of course, there are challenges in hydrogen as we speak. R&D is very important. I think we are also engaging with our R&D centers to work with in the region with Saudi Arabia and with others, and that's actually something that we have agreed we'll talk about after the session, and also work with the international community. We need not to spare an effort in ensuring that we make this viable option an option for us, and we think as we are big in hydrocarbon, both of our two countries will be big in hydrogen and hydrogen exporting.
And that's so exciting to hear. I'll leave you the closing word. If you can maybe give me a short one on this, the future, where are you heading?
No, I will make in this event, using this platform, this event, just to make a simple calling for the whole world. Let us focus. Let us concentrate on emission reduction of all greenhouse emissions. Let's not be picky and choosy about what solution or what energy source. If you want inclusiveness, you have to be comprehensive. What matters the most is the reduction of emissions by all, subject to national consideration and national conditions, taking into account the situation of all countries, which is profound in that Paris Agreement. It's common but differentiated responsibility, and each and every one should attend to his own share of that responsibility. We owe it to ourselves here as Saudi Arabia. I owe it to our friends in Kuwait and the UAE that actually, if you look at our commitments when it comes to emission reductions, we're doing way and beyond what is our share is.
And again, I want to thank you both for being here. Thank you for your great input, and agreed when we look at the great initiatives that you've put in place. As you say, challenges along the way, but you're certainly up to dealing with those challenges. So it's a real honor for us here to bring to you, our dear audience, the Minister of Energy from KSA, His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz. Thank you so much for taking the time. And also from the US, the UAE here, of course, His Excellency Suhail AlMazrouei. Lots of work for you both, gentlemen. I know you're hugely busy in terms of your agenda, so we're very grateful that you took time to stop off here, particularly during Abu Dhabi Sustainability Summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.